What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be reacting to SpaceX Starship Flight 12. Let's go.
T-minus 1 minute.
T-minus 1 minute. Oh my god, it's been so long since a Starship launch. Brand new ship, brand new booster, brand new pad, brand new tower, brand new everything. My heart is pounding. It's like freaking Flight 1. Okay, hold. This better not be a long hold.
Right, so
I got something to get to later.
T-minus 4. About to reset, and the reset is in. Counting down. First flight of Starship V3. Psych, back to rapid reset.
Stop with the psych.
Quick disconnect and hold reset.
Okay, here we go. Now it's go time. Oh my god, this thing is about to leap off the pad.
Flight directors, go for launch.
Go for launch.
Clock is rolling.
I want to see this thing fly, bro. Please. Don't psych it again.
30, flight directors, go for launch.
Go for launch. Okay, good. Okay. It's playing games with me, bro. It's playing games.
Fix in place. Hold reset. Clocks is rolling.
Okay. We can continue with the countdown. Just launch it. Just launch it, bro. Just launch it. This number is killing me. I don't like my number 40 anymore, bro.
Alright, it is sounding like we are not going to be able to clear this issue in time today, so we are going to be standing down from a launch.
That's where we get to T-minus 10, the lower that chance becomes. We just heard we're at T-minus 1 minute.
Yeah, so at this point in time, we're going to stop talking. We're going to let the rocket take over and listen to some amazing pad sounds of the first flight of Starship V3.
It'll go right past it.
Alright, we are holding. We were just waiting for the fuel pushbacks to complete into the prop farm.
Okay.
We did hear that did just complete, so expecting them to reset that hold shortly.
Okay. Not as bad as last time. There we go. Okay, we're actually go for launch now.
Hold is reset, clock is rolling.
We're actually go for launch.
Flight directors, go for launch.
Go for launch. There we go. Okay, oh my god. My heart is racing. This thing is about to leap off the pad. It's about to clear the tower in like 3 seconds. Deluge.
Minus 10.
Deluge.
9, 8.
There's a deluge.
7,
oh my god.
6, 5.
Oh my god.
4, 3. Ignition. We have liftoff.
Pitching downrange.
Oh my god. Bro, that roll.
Booster Raptor, chamber pressure nominal.
That roll maneuver was sick.
Alright, we are T plus 30 seconds into flight, seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor 3 engines on Booster V3. Ascending over the Gulf now, coming up on maximum.
Did it just do a 180?
Pressure.
Booster and ship, avionics power, telemetry nominal.
It just did a
Systems
180.
looking
Wow.
good. We're just passing through the period of maximum dynamic pressure.
Alright, max Q. There it is. Hit max Q. That was very quick.
A little over a minute into flight now.
All engines are looking great.
Vibrations chilling out here at Star Factory as we continue to watch Starship Flight 12 arc out over the Gulf. The next major thing coming up is going to be hot staging.
Booster prop systems nominal.
Reminder, we do what's our version of MECO. Most engines cut off, so we're going to shut down all but 5 of the Raptor engines on the booster.
5 engines. It's gonna be still lit.
And then after that happens, we're going to
I was
ignite
expecting like
the
at least
6
one
engines
Raptor 3
on
failing.
ship while it is still attached.
All of them are
we have
working.
clamps that hold the 2 together. Those are going to retract inside of that hot stage ring, kind of protect them. Looks like we had one of the engines go out, still flying on 32
there goes
of the
one.
Raptor engines. But again, once we get the hot staging, those 6 engines on the
It's
ship
doing
are
a
going
lot
to
of
ignite.
rolling.
We're going to do it in a little bit different of a sequence on version 3. Essentially, those 3 RVAC engines will ignite first. Almost immediately after, just one of those central engines is going to ignite, and that's going to give the booster a bit of a kick, sending it in a known direction.
Here comes Miko.
Followed shortly after by the other 2.
Okay, that's okay. 5 engines. That looks pretty good.
We're through Miko.
All right.
Need separation.
Stay separation.
There you go. Successful hot staging separation.
Bro, that was
We're
fire.
not seeing as many booster engines ignite as we expected for boost back, but we are seeing 6 good engines lit on ship.
This is like a scene from Interstellar.
It looks like we just had an early boost back shutdown. Again, a reminder, the booster was planned to essentially head into the Gulf for a splashdown, but it has shut its engines down early on into boost back.
Is it just me or does it look like the freaking engine?
And we just see one of the RVAC, so we're now running on 5 engines on ship.
Well, I was about to say, this is...
We do have engine out capability, so it's going to continue into its ascent.
Yeah, but with the whole RVAC out, I'm worried that's going to hinder a little bit.
You got booster on the left there, ship on the right.
Everything is rolling a lot.
Ship avionics power
Again,
and
we are
telemetry
not
nominal.
planning on bringing the booster back for this flight, as this was the very first time.
I don't know if the vehicles are supposed to roll that much.
All right, so we're about 3 minutes, 50 seconds into today's flight. Just a reminder that the ship planned to burn its engines for about 8 minutes and change. About 8 minutes and 11 seconds was our planned timeline for today.
Okay, I don't think the booster's
that
supposed
could
to roll that
shift
much,
slightly
bro.
as we do have one engine out, running on 1 fewer RVACs.
At this point, the booster should be pointed retrograde.
Again, continuing to watch. So booster did not complete its boost back burn. We did not see all of the engines ignite that we expected.
Oh my god, we got a...
Are continuing to get some views from it, though.
We got
That's
an
going to make a
engine
splashdown somewhere
aft
in
engine
the
section
Gulf.
camera.
Reminder,
Aft
we
section
clear
camera. What am I
air,
saying?
sea space, everything for these launches.
Yo, is it supposed to roll that much, bro? It's been the booster's been spinning the entire time.
All right, so we are coming up on T plus 5 minutes. Ship continuing to fire 5 of the 6. Standing by for callouts, making sure ship's on its planned trajectory. Again, we are
Ship's still
planning
doing
a
pretty good.
suborbital trajectory for the ship today.
Especially with an RVAC out, a whole RVAC out.
Booster giving us some views as it continues to make its way back down towards
Oh,
the
it is in
water.
retrograde. I might have missed something.
All right, so a little over 5.5
Control that
minutes
roll,
in
bro.
flight. Kate, Jake, you guys with me?
Control
Looks like
that roll,
boosters
bro.
starting to come in.
You're
hot.
coming in. It's coming in.
Yeah, we had the
Engines are
opportunity
shaking.
to stand outside to watch launch, and
This is so much better than
that
a
was
grid fin camera.
incredible.
Yeah, that was really
it's
loud,
coming in
really
hot.
shaky, and I was actually surprised how fast the booster got off the pad, or the whole stack. That was quite incredible.
Absolutely. So we have views here from the booster coming back down, making its way into the Gulf. Pretty cool to
We
see.
have healthy chamber pressures on 5 out of 6 ship Raptor engines.
Great news there
Landing
for
startup.
Starship.
Let it start up. That looks nominal.
Once again, we were not going to bring the super heavy booster back to the tower.
Come on now.
We were planning on having it land in the Gulf.
Oh.
And it looks like the booster ended its mission there in the Gulf, but we've got a ship still flying.
Not a soft
splashdown.
splashdown.
Still have 5 out of 6 engines there.
It's more like a Flight 3 splashdown.
We also heard good chamber pressures as well on those engines that are lit. We do have engine out capability. We do see that we have one
booster
of
performed
the
pretty well.
RVAC, one of the Raptor
now on top of the ship,
engines that is currently out, but that's okay.
Which I expect to be similar to the last mission.
Amazing views of planet Earth.
Are we serious? Yeah.
Yeah, obligatory shout out to the entire Starship avionics, camera, electronics team. Did a whole lot of work to get these upgraded cameras. A look inside of the ship.
Ooh, I like
You
that.
can see those 3 center engines ignited. The RVACs
I like how
continuing to fire as well.
The Raptors are
We
gimbling
did,
a little bit.
see at least
to
a couple
compensate for that
engines
missing
fire up
RVAC,
on booster for that landing burn
which
before we lost contact with
should
it. We should have just
be how
a
it works,
little
right? 'Cause
over
we've all
20
played
seconds to
KSP.
go. We'll see
We've seen
if
how
the
that
burn
works.
extends a little bit. For
Especially
the
when you
engine
turn on
out,
SAS.
essentially you can run your engines a little bit longer or throttle up a little bit more to account for the one engine not being lit. So right now we are standing by for Seco.
Alright, Seco coming up. This should be good. It's just shutting off the engines.
And again, we are continuing to go a little bit longer.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. I thought y'all updated the timeline there. Once we see some plumes come out of the
5
of the
engines
engine bay, then
still burning on ship.
oh, nope. You really gotta dial in this maneuver here.
We are coming up on T plus 9 minutes.
Is it just me or is the ship drifting again? Okay, never mind. It's rotating back. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's trying to align itself with the Indian Ocean.
And starting to see shutdown.
There's the RVAC shutdown.
RVACs have shut down. Sea levels have shut down.
Sea levels, come on. And sweet. Nice. Raptor 3 is performing really well.
Seeing if we can get an update on the ship orbit insertion, but we have shut down again. We did run longer as we were engine out. We were flying with 5 of those 6 Raptors pretty much the whole time.
Ship FTS is saved.
Sweet. All right.
All right, well, we definitely got a ship in space right now.
Now it's just off to re-entry, payload deployment. That's clean right there. That's sick.
Timeline
All right.
we were expecting.
Payload
it.
door is
Look
open.
Inside
Good
the Starship
sign, great
there.
sign.
I see a door opening. Looks like Hal didn't wait.
This is actually a good
door
camera to
is
see.
open. Just a reminder, we've
The
got
satellites pop out.
22 deployables in the payload bay today.
Can't wait to see that.
20 of those Starlink mass simulators, and then 2 are Dodger dogs, so we like to call them internally, sitting up their modified V2 Starlink satellites. Those are going to be testing a bunch of components that we're planning to fly on Starlink V3, and we've also got them outfitted with a number of cameras for another tech demo that we're trying out on this flight. We definitely are looking for a way that we can look at Starship's heat shield while it's still in space. You can kind of only see so much from the cameras and the flaps. You can't see everything kind of on the underbelly, and one of the only ways you can do that is if you got something else flying near it. So We're going to attempt to, our final 2 satellites going out the door have a suite of cameras on them that are going to be looking back at the ship. We're going to be in nighttime, and so we've got, oh, sounds like we're getting into payload deploy. We'll be in nighttime. They've got some powerful flashlights on them to try and illuminate the ship's heat shield while we fly away from it.
There goes some mechanism. So there we go.
We see some PEZ motion.
And it should be rolling out. Oh yeah, separate that first and then roll out. Give them some space. Oh yeah. And yeah. That's it.
Pew, pew.
Oh yeah. All right, next one's
2 down, 20 to go.
20 more satellites.
As a reminder, that's one of the things that we upgraded in
this
version
mechanism
3. Kind of gave a little soup up to the PEZ dispenser, so those satellites going to move out a little bit quicker than they did on previous Starship flight tests.
Yeah, I remember when they were releasing
First
the
2
two
out the door,
on
2 more on
side,
their way out.
One of them gets launched out first, and then the other one kind of rolls back to launch itself even further. And this one, it's just like going out all at once. Yeah, see? That's the last one right there. That's crazy.
All right, 4 down, 18 to go. Flexing my basic math skills here today. Again, the majority of this stack, 20 of these 22 satellites, they're essentially just mass simulators, so they're roughly the same size as those Starlink V3 sats that we're hoping to fly later this year.
And the last 2 should be like
and from this top
real
down
satellites.
view, so you're looking down at the stack. Those 2 satellites you see on the very top, that they'll look very different. They've got solar arrays. They've got a bunch of other deployables on them that we're going to be testing out that are going to be V3 tech, and they've got 3 engineering cameras and then 1 other camera that's hopefully going to be giving us some views of Starship in space. But we will see how that works. Again, this very much a tech demo. We're going to deploy those. The satellite's going to kind of try and turn everything on, look back at Starship, and the primary reason we're trying to do this is to get some views of the heat shield.
Everything has been working smoothly.
2 more out the door.
Except for that one event.
2 more out the door, and I think that counts, or that comes up to 8 total.
As you can tell, the teams are stoked to see this demonstration happening. It's pretty incredible to see this happening live from space. Now, as we noted earlier in the show, but worth repeating, this Starship version 3 is built to deploy up to 60 of Starlink's more advanced
Americans
V3
would yell,
satellites.
USA.
Everything's V3.
After seeing some satellites deploy.
60 terabits per second of downlink capacity per satellite. Now that is 20 times more than each Falcon 9 does today. Incredible.
All right, I think that's number 10 going out the door.
Okay, we're halfway done.
Yeah, there it goes.
I'm expecting the mechanism to be a little bit more faster.
Left screen there is
and while I can definitely tell
right
it's faster,
at the bottom of the
it's not really enough for me to
function.
justify it. This is like
So
version 3
the
technology.
kind of dome-shaped structure you see
I'm
there
looking like
that's actually the top of the fuel tank.
Like, I want that type
And the
of speed,
camera view that you
like
have
they showed
on
in
the
the
right
renders.
is an external
But,
camera
hey,
that we have positioned.
It's going to take some
so
time
that
for us to
you
get
can
there.
see basically the light through the open PEZ dispenser door that you see. That's that sliver of light. We can see the Starlinks here deploying as each one comes through.
Yeah, every single one of these satellites has been deploying very smoothly. There is no satellite that has bumped its head yet.
As we mentioned, we have 20 of these Starlink simulator satellites, and then we have 2 of these specially modified, as we call them, Dodger dogs here around here.
We can see the top.
As Dan mentioned earlier, they have some V3 tech on them, some solar arrays, and those will be the last 2 that will be deployed today.
Yeah, that's right. And seeing this, as I think Dan called them turbocharged or supercharged Pez dispenser, it's definitely coming out much faster than our previous flights. So that is really good to see. Yeah, look at that. And especially once we, fill Starship up all the way with around 60 or so of these Starlinks, being able to deploy them fairly expediently, it's going to be important for designing the overall mission profile.
Yeah,
final 6.
Now, fans of Starship may know that Starlink enables lots of unprecedented views, both from space, as we see here, and on Earth. In addition to the dozens of cameras on Starship itself, we also have mobile Starlink camera kits deployed in the Indian Ocean.
Yes, Starlink also connects our aerial cinematography units on the ground at Starbase and at other strategic camera spots around Texas.
It's all part of how it all comes together to tell the incredible story of Starship both on and off planet.
Yep.
All right, we're getting low on the stack. It looks like we got 2 more of those simulators to go out, and then it will be time for our Dodger Dogs, those modified Starlink satellites. Just a couple of updates while we continue to watch Payload deploy. Did get confirmation we're going to be skipping that relight of the Raptor engine.
Okay.
Just
No
due
Raptor
to
relight.
everything that we saw on the way uphill. Those sea level engines, we're going to use them for a landing burn, though. They are still capable to be used for that. So we'll still look to do a controlled landing in the Gulf, but no in-space relight. All right, I think that's 19 and 20 headed out the door. Coming up are our Dodger Dogs. So these are modified V2 Starlink satellites. We do have a number of cameras on these that are going to attempt to look back
Real
at Starship.
satellites. Here we go.
We're not going to get this video in real time.
I'm not sure if the video that are going to be shot in these satellites are going to be good.
Get some video down.
Right now it's nighttime.
So we don't worry.
All you can see are the lights
if we
inside
have
the
use of
payload.
Starship from these satellites, we
Where
will
the
be
payload bay.
sharing. These will be exciting because, again, they're really a tech demo, getting our chance to test out some of the technologies for version 3.
Sick.
All right, I think that's 18 and 20. My basic math skills are failing now. All right, here we go.
All right. Here are the real satellites.
Standing by for Starship, basically to serve the first Dodger Dogs to low Earth orbit.
And oh yeah.
One out the door. And from this view, you can kind of see on the right side of the satellite, you see some bright white spots. Those are our flashlights. Beneath them, the camera is going to attempt to look back and image Starship's heat shield.
They better be powerful.
As it flies slowly away from the vehicle.
Yeah, they gotta fly slow.
And there it goes.
Flashlight turned on. Let me see the footage.
Let there be light.
Let me see the footage.
Yeah, it almost looks like the light is just shining right at us there.
payload bay door is immediately
Pretty
closing
excited.
now.
Yeah.
It is always sunny in space.
Always sunny in space, and
No footage?
that looks like an empty payload bay. So
Sure does.
that's exactly what you want to see there. That's great. So yeah, with payload deploy complete, oh, you can see the door closing there. All right, there we go. So yeah, with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its... yeah, Starship
Very
will close
clean
the payload door, and we're going to continue
deployment.
to coast around Earth all the way
That was
to
nice.
the Indian Ocean.
Bro, that is sick.
A bit of a
Alright.
spicy re-entry, so we'll see how far we
Re-entry
get.
time. Also, I just
Re-entry is
realized
typically a portion of flight where we
1.1
don't have
million
communications
views.
with the spacecraft because it's re-entering
I don't remember
at or
any
around
other
orbital velocity, roughly
Starship
8
flight getting
kilometers
that
per
many
second,
views.
or
I might have forgotten to fly one.
Other units, roughly 5 miles per second.
But wow, that's a big number.
At those speeds, the spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere, and it creates that plasma field that we saw forming around the vehicle.
Yeah, and although the plasma looks really cool, it does distort some communication frequencies.
This plasma
so it's
looks
not uncommon
very
to
different.
experience brief blackouts in communication.
Do you see all them like
Of course,
little
thinking long-term
shiny
here,
stuff over there?
Starship is designed to land on Mars,
I'm
where
wondering
there are
if
no
that's the
runways
satellites
or other
re-entering.
humans to help out. That's
Hey,
where we're going with the propulsive
could be,
landing
it
instead
could
of a
be
more
not.
traditional means like parachutes. Propulsive landing not only
If it
again,
is, then
it
that would
more
be really cool.
but it enables a more rapidly reusable.
But I'm not sure if the
rocket.
trajectory will
Yeah.
line that up
Now, we
quite as well
should
as I would
hear
imagine
some
it like
call-outs
that.
as the ship makes its way back
Also,
to
this
Earth.
plasma is sick.
When we hear
Blue
entry
plasma.
max heating and entry max Q, that means the ship has made it through the maximum heating
Last
and
time it's always been,
aerodynamic
like,
loads
purple
that
and red
it will
and-
experience as it returns. So
This
if
could
we
be
make it
just a
through
camera
those,
filter.
we're doing pretty well.
That's
Yeah.
very unlikely.
And you can see in the bottom left right now we're at 23,500 kilometers
pretty stable,
per
yeah.
hour speed.
As I would expect from a
That's just crazy
V2.
number to think about.
V2 ship, V3
but
ship.
as we keep progressing the mission, we
Same,
are going to
but
hear a
different.
call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. So transonic
Now, what
refers
I'm
to the period of
hoping
flight where the velocities of airflow
see
surrounding and flowing
Is
past
how
the vehicle
well
are
the heating
concurrently
of
below
the tiles
at
held up.
and
Because last time
above
we've
the
been
speed of
seeing
sound,
orange and white
kind of in
like
that
covered
Mach
the entire
0.8 to 1.2
vehicle.
range. And for reference,
what I think I
commercial
remember was
jets
that is-
have a
is 'cause
range of
the,
cruising speeds, but mostly
the
fly
on
around
purpose
Mach
left
0.74
exposed
to
tiles.
Mach
Like there was a
0.85.
tile that was missing, rust and burning from the
And after
metal.
we hear the
It's
call out
just
that
spreading
Starship is
orange all around
transonic,
the rest
we
of the
should
heat.
hear the call out when
the heat shield.
Starship is subsonic. This refers to speeds that are much
So let's
less
see
than
how
the
this
speed
one
of sound.
goes.
So at this point in the flight, ship's velocity will be slowing down.
We definitely have a crowd still here in the lobby of SpaceX headquarters down here at Starbase, Texas. Everyone is, loves watching ship re-entry. It's always such
We're gonna have to go
amazing
through
colors.
7
This must be what it
more
feels like to be
grueling
one of
minutes
those
of
praying
re-entry.
mantis shrimp or
Ooh.
mantis shrimp. Can't remember exactly what the name is, but the ones that see in billions of colors.
That could be
This is the
plasma
closest I
or that
feel to
could be
being one of
venting.
those.
Yep. I think one other thing that's
It
cool
looks
to
like
point out right
plasma
now
going through the
is
flap there.
looking
Not
in
gonna
the
lie.
bottom right, you can
Okay,
see where
that's
we
just
are
venting.
on a globe there. We're
Got a little
squarely
scared
in
there.
the Indian Ocean already, and
But this thing is looking very
we've
stable.
only been flying for 53 minutes. So pretty crazy. We went all the way from Texas to the Indian Ocean in less than an hour.
Yeah, she flies pretty fast.
She
that
flies
is for
very
sure.
fast.
This is about to be sick.
All right, so the light show continuing. We are through the period of peak heating,
All right.
and we'll be looking
Maximum
at the
heating
peak
has been
pressure
reached.
coming up in the next couple of minutes. The next 10
Ship
minutes
is now starting to cool
are
down a little
probably
bit.
going to be the spiciest of entry today. As a reminder, we are going to be doing some stress work on this ship, where we're going to do a maneuver where we kind of kick the nose up to fully deploy those aft
Yeah.
flaps to really get a
So just
a
like Flight
good
11, they're going to
test
bank a
of the
little bit,
structural
try
strength
to
of that
simulate
part of the
a
ship.
future
We did
ship
that on one
catch.
previous flight
'Cause
test
that's the
on
maneuver that they're
version
going to
2.
have to
We're gonna try
operate
and do that today.
if they want to catch a ship.
Since we did skip the in-space burn, we're carrying a little bit of extra
Basically
propellant
doing a
in
U-turn in the
our
air.
header tanks up in the nose, and so that's going to put a little bit of extra stress on those forward flaps as we come in. So we will see if they're able to hold through that re-entry. So that will be another watch item. We did skip that in-space burn, but we are expecting at least 2 of those sea level engines to try and ignite for a landing burn. We entered the entry period in a good attitude, so hopefully making our way to the targeted splashdown point. We've got that Starship recovery team standing by, and we should be about 10 minutes away from splashdown.
10 minutes away from
a lot of
splashdown,
excitement
okay.
over the next couple of minutes. Kate and Jake, let's see
5
how
more minutes
Starship
is
holds
when
up on the
re-entry
way
should
in.
be like completely done.
Yeah, and we
And then
just
the next
heard on
5
the
minutes
nets
we should be
there
coasting.
that engine chill has started. So essentially what that means is we are prepping the landing
Show
engines
us like
by
an
getting them
engine
down to
bay camera or
temperature
something.
ahead of that landing burn later in the mission here.
It should be daytime over there, right? In the Indian Ocean.
And on a lot of our previous flight tests, we've been removing a bunch of the tiles. If you've watched those, we were really intentionally trying
It
to
should
push
be like
ship beyond its
dawn-ish.
limits. On the last flight, we even had basically a hole get punched into
To be
the
honest, I don't
liquid
really know what the
oxygen
difference between
tank
dawn and
that you
morning
could see
is.
when we did the landing
Not
burn
gonna
into
lie.
the ocean, and this ship was still able to make it. But right now, we're really going to be testing the structural strength of these flaps on the way in. Again, this is a flight test. We're trying to intentionally find where our limits are. And in this view, you're looking at a whole bunch of tiles. I think Jake talked about it earlier. We bonded some additional tiles to the leeward, or kind of the metal side of Starship, to see how those different bonding techniques would hold up. And looking like we've got quite a bit still attached.
Yeah, and as we're going down through the atmosphere here, we are at about Mach 16.1.
Mach 16.
So still extremely fast, although we have, scrubbed off a
16 times the speed
substantial
of sound this
amount
thing.
of our speed already. Altitude at a little less than 60 kilometers.
Here comes the more violent flames, or plasma.
All right, we're about 8 minutes away from our targeted landing and splashdown time. Again, this is when the ship's going to start.
Oh shoot,
Really
we
Ship
got
is
good.
approaching the
G-force.
end of the peak heating region.
peak heating now hit.
Just heard the call out, getting to the end of the peak heating.
Oh, the end
so
of peak heating.
the highest temperature the Starship's going to see during its re-entry.
People in there are about to be experiencing 1G. Might be a little more as we
This camera angle
Going further.
changes as it is attached to the forward flap on Starship. So we're actually experiencing the articulation of that hardware, helping to steer the ship down for its precise landing in the Indian Ocean.
Yep, that is just a really cool, kind of cool piece of perspective there. I know some people say it makes them a little seasick, but I definitely love it. It makes it feel like you're really riding along with the ship on the way down.
Yeah, and aside from just looking cool, all these camera views providing just really critical data on how the heat shield, how the flaps themselves are holding up. That's why we've got these in the flaps and then all scattered all around the ship so you can see how they hold up. There's some internal to the vehicle too and we're getting all of this video back via Starlink, even as we're just
Daytime now.
enshrouded in plasma. We're able to
Getting away from
operate
the
at a
nighttime
high
side.
enough frequency to punch through, and that is blue ocean and sunlight you're seeing just beyond the flap. So we are coming down into daylight, hopefully splashing down in the next 6 minutes or so in the Indian Ocean. We've still got a couple maneuvers lined up where we're going to be really stressing the flaps on the ship. So
Ship has passed through the peak heating region. External temperatures are coming down.
All right, that's great.
Wow, that is incredible news. As Dan mentioned, we were expecting this reentry to be super spicy, but excellent news that we're now past that period of peak heating,
Great
and
news,
that
right?
now the external
Vehicle's
temperatures
now
are starting
excessively
to decrease.
aero braking.
Those heat shield tiles there on the belly of the ship really doing a ton of work to burn off all of that inertia that the vehicle had prior to re-entering the atmosphere.
Yeah, and you can tell by the G meter down on the bottom right that we're starting to pick up a couple more Gs here, so we're definitely entering the thicker part of the atmosphere where we're scrubbing off all that energy. Like
2
Kate's saying.
Gs now.
all right, just about 5 minutes or so to go. We're coming up shortly on the maneuver where we're gonna, it's affectionately called the flap slap, where we're going to kind of
flap,
pitch
huh?
the nose up on the ship, and you're going to see those aft flaps, the ones on the very bottom, fully deploy.
All right,
Ship is at peak dynamic pressure.
all right, here comes the banking maneuver.
And we're now at peak pressure.
Oh yeah.
Ship flap load test has started.
Flaps are holding up pretty well.
Looks like it's holding. Again, the intent of that was to put just a lot of extra stress on those aft flaps. We are expecting the forward ones too to see a little bit of extra stress as we've got a little more propellant in our header tank, so the area right at the very nose of
Ship
Starship
flap load
that kind
test
of
is complete.
All right,
hammered through that test.
Starship landing's coming up pretty
There we
quick.
go. And we just did that
Roughly
test at
3
Mach
more minutes
7, just for reference
ish.
there. So we are still going incredibly fast.
Better see a good splashdown here.
All right, we are just about 3.5 minutes or so away from our targeted landing burn. Again, we're expecting to try and see 2 of these Raptor engines light for the landing burn. Nominally, we plan for 3, but we're going to give it a try with 2. Hopefully, we've got
Ship is
Seren.
starting the RTLS banking maneuver.
And that right there, so we're starting a banking maneuver, and essentially what that is when we come back to Starbase, or when we plan to come back to Starbase, the trajectory is designed so we'll essentially swing out over the Gulf and do a swoop maneuver to then come back to the towers for catch. And so we are doing that exact same maneuver as we head towards our targeted splashdown in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, and that call out there that we heard, RTLS, stands for Return to Launch Site. So definitely a pretty cool thing
Yeah,
we're
2 more
demoing
minutes
here on the
until
ship. You know, as
splashdown.
in the future, we are going to be trying to
Banking
bring the
maneuvers
ship back to
kicking
the
in a
launch
lot
site,
more
which
now.
is
Yeah,
going to be absolutely insane.
absolutely.
Back
But of
to
course,
2
we want to
Gs.
test out these maneuvers, these principles, prior to actually bringing the hardware back to the pad. This is the same reason why we were,
now we're
intentionally
flying
not
sideways.
trying to bring the booster back to the pad. So we're trying all these things out in this developmental phase of the vehicle, and really proving what a test flight is.
Absolutely.
Dynamic pressure is coming down.
All right,
we're
we
slowing
heard there,
down.
dynamic pressure coming
A
down.
lot
and
more now.
I'd say we're in a pretty good bank right now.
Yeah, executing the power slide. We're about 90 seconds away from our anticipated landing burn. Clouds coming up, pretty sunrise on the other side of the planet.
All right, now we're back to belly flop.
Starship is subsonic and is on target.
On target. Sweet. That's great news.
The crowd here reacting to that call out, letting us know that we are on target for this precise landing
This
in
does
the
not look
Indian
real,
Ocean.
bro.
This
This is
will
like
once
a-
again be a soft
A
splashdown.
wallpaper. It
We
looks
should
like
get
the
some pretty
ship
cool
is in
views
front of a
from the
green
recovery
screen.
team who
Not
we
gonna
chatted
lie.
with earlier. They are standing by to receive this ship. Once again, this is the first flight of our completely redesigned Starship version 3.
Like these
Yeah,
clouds
and
do
if you
not look
remember
real.
the suborbital flights from a few years
This is
ago,
crazy.
this is very much the same regime that we're in here. So we're sub 15 kilometers, executing what we call the belly flip maneuver.
Yes, serial number 8, the first belly flop. I remember it well. Just some really amazing views of the Earth as the ship is coming back home. Thanks, Starlink.
Now something different they're gonna do. They're gonna
Yeah,
only
you can
land
see
with
the
one
aft
engine,
flap there making
3 for the
minor
flip.
corrections.
Starship is turning for final
and then
approach to
shut
landing
down
site.
2
Look at
to
that
leave
turn.
1
There we
for
go.
the final landing.
Minor corrections and a full turn.
Oh, they're turning.
Yeah, Starship doesn't fly like an airplane. It's a lot more like a skydiver. Full belly flop on the way down using those flaps similar
All right,
to
here comes
arms
Starship
to help
landing.
change the
Here comes the landing
path of
burn.
the
Should
air over
happen
you. Coming up real
in the
soon.
lower
Again,
parts of the
going
cloud
for
here.
landing burn, trying to light 2 of these Raptor sea level engines.
It's kind of going forward a little bit.
Passing
Landing burn startup.
Landing burn startup.
landing burn startup.
2 engines.
2 engines lit. Successful.
I thought it was about to crash into the ocean there. Oh my god.
Buoy
Great.
cam
Starship is
testament.
landed.
Great.
Good showtime.
And explosion. Oh yeah. Woo. Bro, that's like Oppenheimer right there. That is crazy.
Amazing.
Great job, Starship V3. That was a great first flight for Starship V3. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.